Chapter 1. The Unseen Wound. Have you ever walked away from a conversation feeling off, like your emotions betrayed you, but you couldn't explain why? Maybe you began questioning your memory, your instincts, even your sanity. This isn't overthinking. It's the quiet mark of emotional manipulation, a force so subtle it doesn't come with red flags. It seeps in through charm, guilt, and control. It hides behind concern. It whispers instead of screams. You're not just dealing with a manipulator. You're battling the traps your own mind sets in response: confusion, self-doubt, and disconnection from your identity. This journey isn't just about spotting manipulators. It's about understanding what happens inside you and reclaiming the parts of yourself you were trained to silence. Chapter 2. The Art of Invisible Control. Emotional manipulation is psychological influence disguised as love, logic, or care. It doesn't force you, it recruits you to question yourself until you're doing the manipulator's work for them. Common tactics include gaslighting, making you question your memory or judgment; guilt tripping, using your empathy as leverage; love bombing, overwhelming you with affection, then withdrawing it; silent treatment, emotional withdrawal as punishment; projection, accusing you of what they're actually doing. What makes it dangerous? It wears the face of love. It looks like concern. It sounds like help. But behind the mask, it's control. Chapter 3. Why we fall for it. Manipulators don't create your vulnerabilities. They exploit the ones already there. From childhood, we've been wired to seek connection, approval, and safety. We fear rejection. We avoid conflict. We crave peace even at the cost of ourselves. Add to that the universal human experience of self-doubt, those little insecurities we carry quietly, and it becomes easy for someone to slowly reshape our reality. But perhaps the most potent trap is hope that things will get better, that they'll change, that this time will be different. You're not weak for hoping. You're human. Chapter 4. The Disappearing Self. One of the most devastating effects of emotional manipulation is not what it does to your relationship, it's what it does to your identity. You start to fade. You censor your opinions. You minimize your feelings. You question your gut. And over time, your sense of self begins to blur. You become a version of yourself crafted for survival, edited, quiet, and cautious. What remains is not truly you, but a mask you wear to stay accepted. That's not weakness. That's survival. But survival isn't the same as living. Chapter 5. The Inner War. Inside your mind, confusion becomes constant. You know something's wrong, but you can't act on it. That's cognitive dissonance. Two opposing truths fighting for space. He's hurting me, but he cares. I should walk away, but maybe I'm overreacting. Eventually, you begin to silence yourself before anyone else does. You become your own manipulator, dismissing your instincts, second-guessing your feelings, invalidating your truth. But that discomfort inside you, that's your mind trying to wake you up. That's your strength refusing to disappear. Chapter 6. The Mental Traps That Hold You. Emotional manipulation leaves behind psychological traps. Cognitive dissonance. To reality's what's happening versus what you wish were true. 2. Over-justification. You excuse their behavior endlessly. 3. Self-doubt spiral. You stop trusting yourself. 4. Hope as bait. You wait for potential instead of accepting the pattern. 5. Confusion as insight. You think you're not smart enough to get it, when really, they've distorted reality. Once these traps take root, they create a cage you can't see but you can feel. Chapter 7. Recognition is power. Change begins in the quietest moment. A conversation that drains you again. A boundary ignored again. A whisper in your mind that says, "This isn't right." Recognition doesn't fix everything. But it's the moment the fog lifts. You begin to see not just what happened, but how often it's happened. That awareness is not the end of the story. It's the beginning of coming home to yourself. Chapter 8. Building your shield. Comes the part that isn't about others, it's about you. Here's how you protect your energy. 1. Reconnect with your values. Know what you stand for. Let that be your compass. 2. Rebuild emotional boundaries. To block love, but to preserve your wholeness. 3. Question emotional logic. Their feelings aren't always your responsibility. 4. Spot the patterns. Repetition reveals manipulation. 5. Anchor your reality. Journal. Talk. Stay grounded in facts. 6. Trust your body. Anxiety, tension, and exhaustion are signals. 7. Reclaim your voice. Even if it trembles, use it. That's how you heal. Your shield isn't made of stone, it's made of truth. Chapter 9. Returning to yourself. Reclaiming your identity after manipulation feels like walking into your own life and realizing most of it was decorated by someone else. The furniture, the colors, the beliefs, none of it was yours. But now you get to redesign it. You get to reintroduce yourself to yourself. You may not know who you are yet, Tan. That's okay. Because rediscovering yourself is not a loss. It's a return. Chapter 10. The strength you forgot. You had. You're not broken. You're rebuilding with clarity, with boundaries, with courage. Manipulation may have silenced your voice, but it never erased it. You were always strong. Now you have the tools to use that strength for you. Welcome home.